Hello everyone, my name is EmeraldSpencer, and welcome to the Kandy Kingdom Minecraft server, aka Princess Heather P. Blossom's Minecraft server. Now, I know I am overdue for an update video, but, and I did plan on recording that. I have to issue a correction. What I'm saying here about needing to make an update video, already did that. It was uploaded on my post-anniversary. Go watch that whenever. It is not relevant to the contents of this video in any way. As for everything I'm saying about getting this done before the kickoff of Minecraft Season 2, unfortunately inaccurate. Schedule and technological issues pushed this video back, so Minecraft Season 2 already kicked off, if everything goes according to plan at this point, yesterday. So, still, check out Heather's Patreon and YouTube channel in the description, because we're going to be continuing with Minecraft throughout the summer. But the day I finally had the time to dedicate to deciding to record that was the day that Minecraft 1.20's release date got announced. So, that's soon. I'm recording this on May 27th. It's going to be on June 7th. Right, today's the 27th? Yeah, today's the 27th. Minecraft 1.20 come out on June 7th, so I need to get this done before that happens, so that as soon as it happens, I can update everything about this server so that Minecraft 1.20, or Minecraft Season 2 on Heather's channel can kick off as soon as possible. Which, by the way, if you want to join in on this server, I'm going to leave a link to her Patreon in the description. You just have to join the $10 tier, that gets you on the Discord, and joining the Discord will get you access to the Minecraft server if requested. And if you want to know why if requested, it's because it's a whitelisted server, and this is the guy in charge of the whitelist. Anyway, enough fumbling over that, let's get this tour started. So, I think the easiest place to start with this tour wouldn't actually be this base, because in here isn't where you would see when you join. You would, World Spawn is like 100 or so blocks away. So, the first place we should go is World Spawn. Op doesn't exist on here. One moment. Okay, let's try this again. Alright. And, I'm not worried about my items or anything like that. This is a copy of the offline backup. So, anything I do in here will not be reflected on the actual server. I forgot I slept down here. Let's try that again, shall we? Wait, what? Let's try that one more time. That's more like it. Oh, jeez. I forgot just how high I left my render distance. Which is why I did not know that was visible from spawn. Okay, so I will address that later. First off, this area is where you will spawn when you join the world. And we have a nice little ocean here. Little house there made by one of Heather's former patrons named Danger. He had some numbers on the end of his name. I don't remember what they were. Just a nice little area. I believe this is connected. I think I dug that canal when doing some boat exploring. And we have random sheep on the server because of reasons. So, I think I'll come back to Danger's house because that was... And, you know, what I'm going to really do is turn down my render distance a little bit. That is much better. Yeah, so... you know, I think this might have been me for the boat thing. I'm gonna address Danger's house in a little bit, because there's something unusual there. But we do have a nice staircase that will bring you up right into the honey farm, which is overrun by chickens. Let's see. It's been a while since I've interacted with about 90% of the server's structures. This, I believe, was built by Countess Rose, and I hooked these allays up here so that they wouldn't follow me around. But they're set up to help with sapling collecting for all these dark oak trees. Over here we have our bamboo. Over here... Yeah, this is where the bulk of honey production happens. And we got a nice little village. Got some golems spawning naturally. At least I don't think we made any. Oh, got a cat here. Was this one of mine? Yeah, that was one of mine. Okay, well I know where that is when Season 2 starts. Again, we'll be addressing that later. I guess I should clean up after myself. And just deck myself out here. You know, the Elytra is going to be far more helpful. Yeah, I think that looks about right. Okay. Looks like it's getting to be about nighttime. So, this is the first floor of... So this is the first floor of Heather's house. I left a few things. Wait, why do I have 3 hose? Okay. So, confusion from offing myself aside. Down here is where we have our storage system, our smelting system. Why is this? Oh, that's right. I had left some cobblestone on the server to smelt into smooth stone before I logged off. So that's going to be going next time I log out there. Yep, so storage system, crafting and smelting station. We got some elevators here. These will go up through all the floors, and this will come down through all the floors. Under this carpet is powdered snow, so do not worry. This is, in fact, not a short trip down a long path. Well, it's a short trip off a long pier. You get the point, hopefully. Over here is our enchanting area. I put wool down here. I'll tell you why later. Here are a couple of the dragon heads I got from looting end cities. Because, you know, how would I have this Elytra without it? And I decided to put the skulk sensor there so that every time people walk around, the dragon heads would flap. I initially did not have it waterlogged like that, but a couple of the players started getting PTSD from our various Ancient City trips, so that was silenced. And down here, well, we have some chests. These were kind of catch-alls from mostly End City looting. But I have acquired a lot of ores. I will say how when we kick off Season 2. Down here, we have storage system for things that really accumulate. I didn't realize we had that much iron. I don't think... Yeah, this alcove was nothing. I think it was starting to be a project, and then I got distracted by other things. But I don't remember if I made the alcove in the first place. Well, I guess we have a buddy for this. Yeah. Don't worry about that. So, we're just gonna head up here. Oh, looks like the beds got taken out of this area. Well, I guess I'll sleep in this one just to get back to daytime. And you're gonna notice these ominous banners on every floor. Pillager patrols like to show up here a lot, and we don't know what to do with them, so just elevator markers, I guess. Excuse me. What was this chest for? Ah, that was another catch-all chest. Okay, so these trapdoors are supposed to be so that villagers stop coming up here and getting stuck in the elevator, which I guarantee once we get to the top floor, there's going to be a couple stuck up there. That is also why there are gates on these bottom ones that people like to not close. Fortunately, they seem to be closed this time. Anyway. Hold on a sec. This arrow's supposed to be pointed up. So right, fence gates that no one uses properly. And then this... Ah! This is Coon's place. I forgot about this. He started setting up a home inside of the home. Little barren, other than the dragon head. Maybe I'll have to help him with this in Season 2. Alright, but from here, we just go up another level. And this is where we keep all of our enchanted books. So, most of these are labeled. There's a couple bad... Why is there this much loot in here? A couple of these we don't have a good place for. And there's just some catch-alls here. This is the mushroom. I don't know why someone called it the mushroom room. The pun was right there, but whatever. This is the room where we can have the mushroom spread for potions and whatnot. And then up the stairs. This is Countess's... well, this is Countess's room, but this is Countess's floor, basically. So in here, she's decorated all nice. Lots of banners. Nice skull painting goes with her aesthetic. cat on her bed. You know, you can stay here, because things might get a little dangerous later on. Not sure why she has an enchanted golden chest plate there, but not gonna dig through her chest. Then over here is pretty cool. She has an entire witch's tower, complete with self-refilling cauldrons, candles for the ambiance, ender chest, generic storage, netherwort growing facilities, and then up here, we have the storage for all the different potions she's brewed. Oh yeah, this went up a layer further. I think this is just another place for her room. Anyway, there's no way to get back out through the upper layers, so we have to go back down to her level. And then we still have villagers on these upper levels, and a lack of speaking English on my part. I'm just gonna head out here and take a quick detour out here, where I put a beehive, which is thankfully being pacified by the campfire and hay bale that is way below there. I think it might even be underground. I have to go budge. You know, I don't have to go double check. I didn't see it, so it must be. And then up here we have Heather's room. Oh, I think I put all these crystals up myself. Also, I think one of these cats... Ah, yes! These cats. I didn't name this one. Oh, because that one's mine. Yep, so over here, we got some fish tanks. The amethyst everywhere is really distracting me. She has a blue axolotl, which... I will tell you how I got it in a bit. Spoiler, it has to do with that. Yep, as expected, so there are some villagers stuck out on the ledge there. Guess I'll have to fix that when I get back on the server proper. But, anyway, and Heather has a nice little balcony out here, which is why I put the bees there. They can come up here, pollinate the flowers, and then you have some honey down there. And finally, for this structure, staircase wasn't on this side. Finally, for this structure, we have the rooftop. Why did someone put a bed up there? I don't understand people's... Oh, yeah. And, there is also a... Right. There is also a people are coming in detector with an unsilenced skulk sensor there. I forget if they asked me to silence that one or not. Anyway, that is the entirety of what I'm going to call the tower. Because I don't think this has a proper name, and honestly, I want to remodel this thing. They made it entirely out of cobblestone. There's much better materials they could have made it out of. But now it's time to fly down and view the village. Ow. Fortunately, really easy roof dismount if you know what you're doing. What is the... Oh, that's a cow. For a second, I thought that over there was like someone in leather armor. Yep. So these villager houses are very basic. Just stuff I threw together just to get the population up. Beds and doors and all that nonsense. This blacksmithing thing, there was initially a house under it where I put a slime farm. Or no, a house right here where underneath it I put a slime farm. But plans changed and I updated the structure. Why is this filled in with... Oh yeah, because someone blew up a creeper over here. You can tell just how well I planned this tour. This right here is Edith Coon's rentable property. Not sure why he decided to make it that and not just call it his house. I shoved beds everywhere, again, for the purposes of villager population growth. I don't remember this rooflet being here. He must have worked on this. And... out... let's see... Ooh, this right here is one of the older structures on the server. It is a fully automatic chicken, or egg collector. So in here, yep, you got eggs, you got chickens for when people off the chickens, and I think over here... these were just catch-all barrels. I think those were for overflowing eggs. I have something that fixed the egg situation that I will go into detail on later. What the heck? Oh, that's the sound of cartography table. Yeah, so in here I have cartography and loom for the shepherd and the cartographer. And then this All these noises are things I am not used to hearing. Every time I've played Minecraft, I haven't been around people. Okay, so this here is a contained villager unit. Because this librarian right here has a 10 emerald mending trade, which I believe I did have a 1 emerald mending trade in here at some point, but building oversights led to issues, shall we say. He's basically only here for legacy's sake. I have a better mending villager somewhere else on the server that I'll be showing you in a bit, after I go through the store. Then, I put this in because our end portal is like 5,000 blocks away or something ridiculous like that. I'm not even going to bother showing it on this tour because it's just a stronghold and just the end island. We haven't done anything interesting with it. I believe Countess put this here after trying to go loot, what was it? Actually, no, I would not have done this improper capitalization. This must have been Countess when she lost her stuff in the ocean. You're gonna notice random minecarts with chests everywhere. Let me put in a clip to show you why that is. Alright, this should teleport everyone to me.
Whoa, what
the heck is going on here?
Don't shoot.
What did I walk in?
I have an egg in my hand. What is going on?
Okay, everyone get away from the house. Everyone get away from the house.
Did you teleport everything?
It would seem so.
I think I...
What the heck is going on here?
She teleported everything.
I accidentally teleported everything.
Everything!
I have since learned from my mistakes and know the proper commands to do that. Anyway, over here we have our tater farm. And, do I go that way or that way? Let's start with that way, because there's only a few things in that direction. So, we have this nice long pathway with a stop along the way for a horse stable with, I forget who's, El Horso. I think that was Coons. And then right there is Bitey the donkey. Or no, Blinky the donkey. But she bites. And then we're just going to continue along this path right here for a bit. Unfortunately, there's not really a faster way to do this, so speed up time. And then over here we have a little structure I made out of blackstone and dark oak. And over here, elevator up, drop down. Let's go! This was before I figured out powdered snow. I was still using the older system of water to catch yourself. And this just dumps you off in a cave, which was... Do you mind, sir? I'm trying to do a server tour. Ugh, forget it. None of this loot will be kept for me when I go back anyway. So down here, it's a mine shaft. And this one actually has screwed up Do you mind? So this one actually has... Go this way. So this one actually has screwed up... Excuse me. Good freaking day. So this thing actually has screwed up generation because when I installed the data pack on this server, that I'll go into a little more detail on later, I rolled back the server generation to before ores were made so that it could do some ore changes I made. And apparently the structure generation step comes after that, so this happened. This is basically like 2 mine shafts layered on top of each other. And the way down to what that drop goes to is accessible through the mine shaft, but I don't remember the way through it, so I'm just going to head down the dropper. That's not the dropper. The dropper was over here. Dropper! And down here, we have a torchberry farm. And also, this is a bubble elevator for item distribution, but that project never ended up going anywhere, so it's just a column of bubbles now. And this might be familiar to watchers of the streams. This was our skeleton farm. You would stand here, right in the hopper, and then you could just farm skeletons. Stand here, AFK, build them up, or in my case, set up a macro so that you could just automatically swing your sword every few seconds, and skeletons. But as you can notice, it's not working right now. And that's not from lack of skeletons, because it's a little hard to see through all the tinted glass, but you can see one back there. No, this doesn't work because it was remodeled. This back here at some point was an enchanting room, but that got moved after the remodel. So, that door just heads out into the mine shaft, and again, not much interesting out there, so no point in going. So we come down here, and yeah, pretty big area down here. So, there was the spawner right up here, but when I did the chunk rollback, it also put a spawner right here, which I'm going to look away from because that has spoilers for something. Enchanting room over here. I forget precisely what happened with this area, but Countess filled it in with bone blocks. And then she also made this item sorting system. I can't even pretend to know how it works. I would have to go rewatch about 7 YouTube tutorials before I even hope to remake something of this scale. Or, not of this scale, of this usability. So, translation, I'm going to have to ask Countess for help when I do a system of this for the main item storage. And then she also made this trash over here. What's something we have too much of? Regular arrows. So if I take these regular arrows, and I throw them in this chest here, she has it rigged up so that they automatically get dropped out into lava. Again, don't know how this server, or how this system works. We've also got a couple of random chests around here. Was this anything? Back there was a failed experiment. I was trying to find a way to make this thing, be a skulk farm, but it took me a couple tries before I learned that skulk catalysts will cause skulk to appear where something died, not around the catalyst itself. So, that super didn't work. I bet there's still some skulk if... I bet there's still some skulk if you look far enough up in there. Anyway, and yes, those are indeed wither skeletons. No, we did not cheat to get that spawner. But there's another spawner I want to show you guys before I explain how it happened. But, I think one layer further down... Ah, yes. But... Actually, how? I think they're getting through the gap in the soul sand. Anyway, this was redstone for the item elevator that ultimately ended up going nowhere. But the space down here was instead converted for more item storage, because this farm ends up with a lot of drops. Anyway, was there anything else about this area? Ooh, back here was bone storage, because we got so much of it. Ended up with a whole lot of bone blocks out of it. Very useful building material. This grindstone is here because we used to have a system for taking all of the broken stuff that came from the farm and mending it together. So, this chest over here has broken, or all the fixed bows from that process. Because once you start coming through here with a fortune sword, yeah, things build up very quickly. Also, we have a random totem of undying here. Not sure why. And this enchanted area was very good for getting books. Because you'd walk out of this farm with 90 plus levels of experience after sitting here for 3 hours. And I used to leave it for longer than that. Anyway. Why was this here? Okay. Anyway, I keep getting distracted by things around here long enough. Let's head back to the house. Hey, I got it right on the first try this time. Also, hey, it's night again. And it's morning! Okay, so now, if we head out of the house and go this way. So, behind all of this sugarcane we have a little bridge to get to the other side. We have a farm here. I've come to learn in recent times this is actually not the most effective way to grow crops, so I will be fixing this when Season 2 kicks off. And this used to be flat. I put a bridge here so I can boat through it. Okay, despawning skeleton. And it's raining. Good thing we're in the savannah. So, here we have quite a cluttered sheep farm of various colors for all the various projects I've needed, and a whole mess of copper blocks around here. I'm oxidizing this for a build project, don't worry about it. And then over here we have cows. We used to have more, but they kept getting slaughtered for leather, and none of us really need leather anymore. Huh. I never noticed we did a melon farm back here. Which is weird, because I put copper right next to it. You'd think I put the copper over here, like, last year, so I'm not surprised I don't remember it. This beacon beam here. Don't worry about that. That's a reveal for the beginning of Season 2. Because the only person who knows what's going on down there other than me is Editscoon. So, yeah, if you'll notice, the beacon gave me haste too. Let's just say it's a very big hole. So, I believe I had a boat in my inventory. Let's go see what was going on with... Okay, you know what? The boat's gonna be too slow. Let's go see what was going on with this. I should not have flown through the ground there. Okay, ooh! What was the chest boat for? Oh, right, that was just for fishing. So, back into survival. So... I keep saying so. There is one way to access this tower. It is through the bottom with a massive thing of bubble elevators. And riding up the bubble elevators brings you to a very blue platform. This is the axolotl breeder. I took all 4 colors of axolotls and spent who knows how long just breeding up all of them until I got myself a blue axolotl. And no, it is not the one that is currently living in Heather's bedroom. That is one of its children. I have kept the original. I have named it Mudkip Prime. But... oh, and I hit it. But yes, you would just stand right here. And what this would do is it causes the spawn radius of tropical fish to only be the tower. So if I sit here for long enough, then tropical fish will start to show up here, because this is a warm ocean. And once it gets going, it gets going. You get so many tropical fish, cod, salmon, it just all over the place. And then you would pop out here with buckets, grab the tropical fish, go feed them to the axolotls, breed them, repeat ad nauseum until you get a blue one. And also... wait, what? Ow. Oh, yeah, and they sometimes got stuck on the side here. And, well, you know the rest. But, yeah, buckets, feed fish, repeat until you get blue axolotl. And was there anything else in any of these directions? Oh, yes, a village. Wait a minute. Okay, so which direction was home? Okay, so there's my... hold up a minute here. Okay, so this is a fascinating discovery. There's a village there that I don't think anyone on the server has ever noticed. I'm gonna fly over it just to verify. Yeah, there was a... Someone would have broken that grass by coming here. There's a baby villager. That looks like normal loot. Yeah, so this villager, or this village has just been sitting here, and none of us knew about it. That's fascinating. Though I guess not all too much surprising, if I just hop into spectator mode for the super speed real quick. Over here is a village that I believe they looted on the, and by they, I mean everyone else on the server, because I joined a couple episodes in, or a couple streams in, as it were. This is a village that was found and looted very early on, and then I came back to it to, basically fix this village. So... Oh, right! So I fixed this village, and then it regenerated because of the whole chunk rollback thing. I forgot about that. And there's a boat with a turtle here. Yeah, so, this is turning into a tour and a discovery video. I don't know how I managed to make that happen, but, yeah, so you have all the normal houses, but then you have these things built on the water, which are ones I constructed. And then... Wait, didn't I set up something? Oh yeah, the crafting tables. I swear one of these things was set up with a furnace. I guess it got generated over. Huh. And then while we're here, there was... Ah yes, this is it. Some of this got partially replaced by dirt. I guess Generation didn't know what to do with this. But yeah, this frame was entirely made out of acacia. And then you go down here, and there is a very long tunnel. This had been intended to be used as... Random emerald ore. I will address that in a bit. So this tunnel was intended to be used for a minecart track. The idea was I would breed up those villagers back there, get a nitwit, so that I wouldn't be taking anything of value from the village, and then I would minecart him all the way back to the Kandy Kingdom and kickstart the village population. But, I ended up just using boats for that. It ended up being way easier, especially with all the water access that we have. So this tunnel just kind of remains an unfinished project. Though over here, you can see I got decently far with it. Got the entire tunnel dug some powered rails, made this water access down here. Thank you, Aqua Affinity, for making this easy. This is... blocked off. Oh, because I made the tunnel. Well, I guess since we're over here, it'd be a good time to bring up Danger's house. He, get up there. So, the tunnel never actually interfered with Danger's house, thankfully. I made that go down as soon as I came out of the cliff behind his house here. But in here, we kind of pranked him a bit with a whole bunch of chickens. I think there was a bee in here at some point. And then I hid this... Oh, it's gone. Well, I did put a skulk sensor back here at some point. I'm just going to give myself one to show you why. And remember, I'm not actually cheating out the server or anything. This is a copy of an offline backup. Right, just going to put this down right here. Now, the brilliant thing is that the chickens cover up the player's influence most of the time. But... I hope Danger doesn't watch this video. There is easily, like... There's easily, like, 30 Skulk Shriekers under this house. Oh! And here's where my tunnel had come out. So we could follow this back through. That... Why do I hear a laze back here? Anyway, that's where I came out initially before I decided to go this way. And... yeah, now I'm curious, because I don't remember a laze being in here anymore. So... back here we have a utility cavern, which... here we have our lava farm. Over here we have a netherwort farm, as well as a strider habitat. So, that incident I showed you earlier, also, Countess was in the nether at the time. So, we ended up with a few nether mobs over here in the overworld. So these guys were just kind of chilling around the base shivering. So, I think Countess made them a habitat, but it was just a pool with lava in it. So, I prettied it up, made it look like the nether, and got all of them that I could find there. This over here is our cactus farm, or the cactus farm, I should say. I set this up, and evidently it filled up at some point. So once I get back on the server, I should fix that. Over here, I think I was growing huge mushrooms as a better way to get more mushrooms. That leads to something else I'll show you guys in a minute. And then, let's see. First thing I'm gonna... oh, wait, right. Those were the allays on the hill. Duh. So... down here was the mine. And most of the mines and stuff I've been skipping up to this point, because it's the kind of thing you'd see in any Minecraft playthrough. Where down this staircase way further, Countess was doing strip mining, so you got that standard grid of passages and whatnot. This amethyst block here indicates passage to a geode that I completely gutted. And there's not much else to this place. It's just where we came to dig up the earth and look for resources. Except for right here. We have yet another farm. And it's hooked up to a storage system that I will not be opening. Now, you might have guessed, from the sounds that are coming from here, what we were farming. And we also got a cow here. That cow is very important. Because if I give things... oh. And I also put down a catalyst at some point, and that caused that smoke back there. But yes! Those are evokers. So, the thing I have been glossing over the whole time, the reason we have a wither skeleton farm, and random emerald ores at places, and, well, this, is a custom... custom data pack of my own design, called the EmeraldSpencer's Modifications data pack. Very creative, I know, but it's a very lightweight one. It just adds in a couple crafting recipes, makes it so that emerald ore can spawn outside of extreme hills biomes, though very rarely. So the emerald ores spawn elsewhere, but very rarely, and I'm going to save the full explanation for when I do a video on the data pack proper. But one other thing it adds is the ability to craft spawn eggs, which is kind of expensive. You need bottles of experience, materials from the mob, so for the evoker, I actually changed it in a second update to the data pack. Again, we'll explain in more detail when I do a video on it properly. I'm gonna move away because these guys are a little loud. So in order to craft it, you would need 4 materials from the given thing. So in order to craft an evoker spawn egg, you need to go get 4 evokers and get their totals of undying. So that wasn't particularly easy, but now that we have it, it's a little busted. And I know I said I wasn't going to go into the storage system, but I changed my mind. Just a very small amount busted. Also, do not try to AFK this farm if you join this server. I tried it exactly once. Did you know Vexes can fly through walls and are very hard to hit in a tight, confined underground space like this? Guess how I know. Yeah, so safe to say we're kind of set on totals of undying now. But yes, data pack on the server lets us craft spawn eggs, which lets us do weird stuff like this. Anyway, I'm gonna head back upstairs now. Alright, and now I will be headed in this direction. This tunnel was a 1x2, but when I found it, I don't precisely remember... Oh, I'm out of food. So this tunnel was a 1x2 when I found it. I expanded it into this much bigger design here. And... Yep, notice those out of the corner of my eye. I did nerf the emerald spawn rate for the data pack, which I will go into more detail on in its own video, of course. Yes, and then over here, I had stopped. And this puts us out on a little road I will take on the way back. But we are not at our destination yet. There is still more. This leads us to a black stone house in the middle of the woods. Now, if you recall the last Blackstone house, you know what's under here. Another cave, this time dripstone. But that is not all, because we can go down further. And this is the zombie farm. This farm, so the skeleton farm was made by Countess Rose. And when the Wither Skeleton spawner happened, I did that. And just added to the farm, redirected some things. This one, I did entirely myself. Honestly, I wish I recorded it. But this was my come here to relax server, so I didn't. I'm gonna let a zombie spawn here. And then, gonna flip this lever. I'll show you what that does in a minute here. Down this staircase, it's, oh, that's right, there's something in that direction I gotta show you guys. But down this way, not too much special, other than a zombie that broke containment. It's just a cave. I did this because there were diamonds and stuff down here. Looks like a... Nope, that's a torch. I was gonna say looks like a bit of gold I missed. Let's get back up there. And we can head back into here, because I actually wasn't done showing this off. We got ourselves a nice staircase here. If we head down this way, here we have... good timing. A drowned converter, which is very helpful for getting copper ingots and whatnot. Over here, we have 2 librarian villagers. This one right here is my 1 emerald mending board. So, we're good on mending on this server. And then over here, it's morning, was 10 emeralds for Thorns 3, which was very important, because I don't believe you can get above Thorns 2 on an enchanting table. So that was really helpful. And also, we have another enchanting setup over here to use all of that experience you gathered up while slaying all of the zombies. And we got enchantment book storage. And this is the backup. Why does it have stuff in there? Get to it in a minute. So, that was a backup for this. So this is my cleric. He gives me really good returns. Or, well, I guess they could be better. But decently good returns for rotten flesh. And we end up with quite a lot of it here. Well, I guess that ran out of the rotten flesh. But, yeah, I designed this to be a way better capacity system than the skeleton farm. And as for why it doesn't have that storage thing that the skeleton farm has, that's because Countess did that, and I did all of this myself. So if I want item sorting, I'm gonna have to get Countess to do it for me, or learn how to do it myself. Which, both of which are not happening at this time. So, that's the extent of this farm. And then, we can come back out here, and come up here to this lovely hallway. I believe this was another one of Countess's initiatives, because I had a very simple tunnel going to where this ends up leading. So we come over here. Yep, this was a simple 1x2 tunnel when I set it up. I believe I have a clip of, if not this, then something very similar. There were 4 minecarts in one spot. I don't believe that was by shenaniganery, because... Actually, you know what? I know it wasn't this spot, because I was in a different mine shaft when I did that. Yeah, I don't know how, but 4 minecarts in the same spot. Crazy. But this in here is the gas chamber. As you can see, it's entirely constructed out of deep slate cobblestone, and the lighting is handled by glowing obsidian. I needed blast-proof materials. So, obviously, the way I did this was with the data pack. I crafted myself a ghast spawn egg, and there was this existing spawner. I set up the room. And not much more to it than that. I can't really do this as a farm because I can't really do it as a I can't really do it as a farm because of the fact that they fly around like that. But you just go in there with looting. Usually 1 or 2 swings of the sword will do it to them. And if you can't reach them with the sword, you can just hit them. Or shoot them with the bow. Then down here... Ah yes, this was my original passage. You just come all the way down here. Through this little tunnel. Then come up here. And hey, there's the way back to the zombie farm. But I'm not walking all that way back. Now, let's head to the Nether. There is one final thing that I have to show you in the overworld here. But that is, well, going to be the final thing. So, thankfully, all of the cool Nether stuff is very close together. So this is our roadway. This was the direction we set out in first. At the initial end of this road is a Nether fortress that I extended a little further for passage to a couple ancient cities. In this direction is another Nether fortress, way further out, and also the portal to a woodland mansion. There's, again, not a lot of interesting stuff there, so not really much to do. And this way doesn't lead much of anywhere. I believe... I don't even know who set this up. I want to say Danger, but this way here, this was me. This pathway goes out 10,000 blocks. Or no. This one goes out 1,000 blocks, makes a left turn, and then goes another 100 or so, which led to a mesa biome with an ancient city under it. Again, nothing much of interest built there, and that particular ancient city was in a past video of mine where I looted an ancient city. But that's, and then over here, we have some warped nylium. I was farming some, warped planks. I forget the name of those things. Maybe they were just warped logs. And as you can see, we have a little frog here. There's also a cold frog. I don't know where he went. Initially I did have them tied up to this post here, but they kept escaping somehow. But yeah, frog in the Nether. Because, this is a basalt delta, so I get the magma cubes aggroed on me, lure them over here, slice and dice them into the little ones, and then this guy gets a buffet. And I get some frog lights out of it. So, and then, where was it? And then, if you ever do join this server, somewhere down there, I don't remember where, is a network of caves way down towards bedrock, where I was mining for netherite. What was the way back up here? Ah, what a nice convenient staircase, What a nice convenient staircase marked by a path of dirt. And a frog that's just stuck here. I'll have to remember that when I get back on the server. Yeah, but that's about the extent of the nether. And then, here in the overworld again, we will head... So the final thing I want to show here has 2 ways to get into it. Which way do I want to demonstrate first? Yeah, I will demonstrate the very obvious way first. So if we head... and then, before I do that, this down here was the first mine that they made. They just kind of dug straight down. Hit a pool of water. This tunnel goes a bit down that way, and I believe it was the first turn? Yeah, this is going to head to the mine shaft where the skeleton farm and whatnot is. And then they used to climb that very long ladder to get back up. But that takes forever. So I made them this return elevator. Which is far more convenient. Thank you, 1.13. Alright, and then in here we have another axolotl farm. So I designed this one to be a little more homey. Made it look like the lush caverns I took them from. Started off with one piece of moss and then bone mealed it everywhere. Flooded the whole thing. And these barrels are filled with the type of axolotl because they lagged the server a lot. It took me a long time to find blue axolotls. Or a blue axolotl, I should say. But we swim down here. And then in here, I made another cavern. This was their breeding grounds. I could separate them off, get out of the way of the swarm that happened whenever I pulled out the tropical fish, and just kind of get out of the way of all of them. And then through here, I'm going to ignore that for a bit, say hi to these axolotls, and come all the way down around here, where we have yet another breeding chamber. I think I accidentally damaged this one with creepers, and that's why there's not as many... Oh, wait, no. Oh, the glowberries just didn't grow back yet. So, yeah, this was lit up very nice at some point, but things didn't grow, so they didn't happen. Alright, and now for the one I skipped. Welcome to the basement. I have an aquarium here. Whenever I found tropical fish that I really liked from the axolotl breeding, I kept them and would put them in here. So I got a couple of clownfish and a blue tang as a Finding Nemo reference. This blue and bubblegum pink one that I held onto for Heather. Actually, a couple of them. There's some pink and green ones, just a lot of green ones. I like green. I forget where I was, but yeah, this is my aquarium. And then over here, this is the... Well, I say the second way because that's the order I'm showing in this video. That's the return elevator. Puts you right back into the house. And then this is the first way to get down. So I'm going to need... do I still have it? Yes, I need my goat horn. And then this arrow, which I said was in the wrong position because it was pointing up before, this actually needs to point down. And then you need this quill into writing position. And then finally, you must announce your presence. You must announce your presence. You must announce your presence. Okay, you must jump on this block. Okay, you must jump on this block. Why isn't this working? Give me a minute. Okay, I think this'll work. What is going on? Okay, so what's supposed to be happening here is that this plus this will be, or having this fully extended and this at this angle will put in 2 redstone signals into a inverter. And if you turn this too far, that piston retracting is pulling down a solid block that has repeaters on it, and the repeaters, without the solid block, the repeaters won't send the signal through. So basically, you need to know the right combination to get in. However, I have a third piece of the puzzle, which is a skulk sensor right over here, that for some reason is not working right now. So... I don't know if it's because, wool mechanics are factored differently, but yeah. It's this sensor right here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so it opens this hole right here. And then, easy way to cover tracks, just turn this, then hop down, and now we're back down here. And that opens up into this space, which also has a drop shaft and an elevator. Now, I dug this hole initially to put a house under here, but I changed my mind on that. I'm going to be doing something different. And so I'm turning it into an underground village. That I haven't gotten entirely through yet. There should be a villager somewhere in here. No, that gate's closed. This one doesn't have a bed. Not in there. Ah, he's in that bed. Okay. Yep, so I have a villager down here. Second one got caught up here because someone left the gate open and fell down here. I think they died on that glow shroom there. So I put in that piece of water in there just to make sure that doesn't happen. But yeah. Oh, and this was cool. So there's a massive cave out here where you get glow squid spawns. There's a geode in this direction. And, you know, I'm just going to go through here because the cave itself is beautiful. Yep, break. Yeah. Look at this generation. Big old cave. 2 aquifers on top of each other. And it goes out for a while. And I actually found that when I did the slime farm. And this kind of got in my way as I was doing this, so walled off with gravel mostly so I can fill it in. But I left this hole here so you can fish through it. This is also going to be the fisherman's house. I think it was the fisherman's house. Then the fisherman died. But this will look really cool. I think I'm going to build it up more in Season 2. Put up some scaffolding, or not scaffolding, put up some walkways, and kind of make this a triple or even quadruple decker village design. But you may have heard skulk sensors earlier, and you may notice this very conspicuous looking block of chiseled blackstone. Now, as you can see, just kind of... Huh, well that worked. Yeah, so, if you manage to set off both the sensors at the same time, they put in redstone, there's a pulse extender and all that tucked behind this skulk here. But, that beacon beam I showed you earlier, that's your preview of what's down there. It's, gonna be a pretty big reveal when Season 2 kicks off. So, anyway, thank you for watching this tour of the Kandy Kingdom server. If you liked it, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to have a conversation with Clyde, ring the notification bell, keeps you updated on all my future videos. Website, Patreon, Minds, Discord, and Twitch links are in the description below, as well as the link to Princess Heather P. Blossom's Discord server, or not Discord server, to her Patreon that you can join at the $10 tier to get access to her Discord server, as well as her YouTube channel, where she goes live with the actual playthroughs on this server, and uploads daily TikToks and whatnot. Not TikTok. Well, yes, TikToks, because she records them with TikTok. Links to all that in the description. I will see all of you in the next video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.